Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Running on Plenty Food Review. So today, pulling their pants down in front of the class for show and tell is Reptar bars. Many of you may remember this from the hit television show Rugrats. Many of us grew up with the show, and many of us are familiar with the type of immense destruction Reptar is capable of, but at least we slept soundly knowing he wasn't real. But now, ladies and gentlemen, this bitch is real. Reptar has stepped into the real world with these bars. Instead of destroying cities, now he's destroying titties. These bars are exclusive to FYE, a name many of you have probably forgotten, and those of you that do remember it probably thought it burned to the ground many years ago. And you're right, make no mistake, this thing is fundamentally wiped off the face of the earth, but there's still a few remaining, kind of like that last blockbuster standing. There's a few of these naughty boys still remaining, but finding them is a Herculean task. I had to search the fucking Tor deep web to try and find these things. I had to talk to black market dealers asking them about FI locations until finally I found one. And luckily they had some Reptar bars, so I drove out there, got some Reptar bars. I definitely bought too many. The nostalgia really hit hard when I saw them in the store, and I bought a retarded amount of them, but you know what? So be it. Now I have a lot. Now let's get to the important part. How do they taste? Is it just going to be a ball of sludge wrapped up in nostalgia, or will it actually taste pretty decent? Let's find out. Now there's some instructions here. Step 1, tear open. Step 2, chomp. And then step 3, roar like Reptar. I assure you I will not be doing step 3, but I will follow the first 2 to the letter. Now as I gently take the clothes off of her, you'll notice that the packaging just kind of falls right off of her. They've very clearly taken a page right out of Chof Mogdar's playbook here, at least when it comes to packaging principles. For those who don't know, Chof Mogdar was the inventor of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich and subsequent packaging chief of the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. He firmly believed that while the packaging can look nice, it should also be easy to get into. Thus, the treats underneath can be quickly enjoyed without having to hassle with packaging issues. Now, to an untrained eye, this looks like a standard milk chocolate bar. Oh, what is this? We got a little Reptar pre-cum leaking out of the top right portion of the bar. I'm going to have to deduct a few points for that. Now, inside of this milk chocolate bar, there is a bright green icing advertised to turn your tongue green, just like in the show. Don't worry though, I'll be testing those claims thoroughly. I'm putting this bitch through the most advanced tests we have to offer. I'm going to throw this bad boy through the fucking Turing test as well. Now, on my first bite, I was able to pretty much discern where the chocolate came from. The smell was a dead giveaway that it was of the Italian origin, and with the first bite, I was able to get a strong hint of wood. I think the barrel the chocolate was aged in was perhaps opened while listening to Mozart's Symphony 40, and it all just kind of came together. It wasn't bad, it was quite delectable, it was palatable, and during the fermentation, I think all the elements just kind of cohesively worked together and formed this symbiotic relationship that eventually led to this chocolate bar. Really, the covalent bonds formed here are extremely strong. You would have your work cut out for you if you were trying to sever these bonds with anything shy of a carbon-cutting photon emitter. Now, I do, however, have a minor complaint, and it's the bright green icing that they kind of throw into the mega mix here. I think the chocolate bar itself has this beautiful marriage, and then they decide to take things to the next level and they adopt this bright green icing out of what I believe is Berlin. I can't say with 100% certainty since there wasn't enough bright green icing to truly coat my taste buds, and thus I couldn't use my GPS tongue tracking abilities to really locate the genesis of the icing, but I do believe I'm probably correct in saying it's somewhere around Berlin, and it just really didn't work all that well. There was a lot better choices they could have made for the adoption. They could have got icing straight from Santa Claus's asshole, and it probably would have brought a whole lot more flavor to the mix here. But overall, the chocolate bar is sound. It is not a bad chocolate bar. It is a middle-of-the-pack chocolate bar, and I can see they had the best of intentions when creating this. They fucking Frankenstein together this Reptar bar out of nowhere, and I respect that. They're really trying their best to keep this sinking ship of a business floating, so they're really grasping at straws. I'm sure any day now we'll see Tommy Pickles diapers for sale at FYE, and I'll be first in line to pick up a pair. Now let's test that claim. Does it turn your tongue green? Let's see what we've got here. Now, as a professional certified green inspector, a man who specializes in identifying the color green in all of its different shades across the globe, as a leading expert in the field of saying what is and what is not green, I'm going to have to say there is not a whole lot of green here for me to say it has turned my tongue green, or any scientifically significant evidence to suggest that it will turn your tongue green if given enough time to really sit on the tongue. There's just not a whole lot of green here to really say with confidence it turns your tongue green. Although it may try its best, what it kind of leaves is just a little bit of trail of ectoplasm on your tongue that is sure to wash away after your first swallow. Now brace your chocolate starfish for our celebrity guest. It's WWE Hall of Fame legend Goldberg. I have no doubt in my mind this chocolate bar will give my taste buds the old spear, one that I'll sure to never forget. Let's go ahead and crank this bad boy out of the wrapping here and give her a taste test. Now, it's worth mentioning I've never sucked Goldberg's penis, so I won't be able to say with 100% certainty if this is what Goldberg tastes like, but I'll do my best to give an accurate review, and he may or may not taste like this. Now, this is a very nice looking chocolate bar. There's a little chunk to it, which I can always respect in a chocolate bar. It looks very nice. Let's go ahead and break off a piece here and give her a try. And just as a little spoiler alert, it's truly abominable, absolutely fucking miserable to eat, something I would not wish upon my worst enemy. Maybe this is what Goldberg's jockstrap tastes like after he's caked it in diarrhea and let it sit out in the rain for a week. And if that's the taste they were going for, then I give them a very solid round of applause. New York Times gives them 2 thumbs way up, and that is a standing ovation from me. Now, I'd like to thank my celebrity guest Goldberg for joining me, and this has been Food Review on Chocolate Bars. That's it. See ya.